Hey everybody. I am a federal employee who, like thousands of other people, was terminated today. And I'm noticing this really disturbing trend of people rejoicing, like people in the private sector rejoicing that federal employees are being fired. And I have this gut feeling that these are probably the same people that was happy when people were being deported. That's neither here nor there. Listen, I just want a quick PSA because so you can't say ain't nobody warned you. Come here. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. If you thought that you should be worried about DEI hires taking your job, baby, you about to hate to see these federal employees.
Oh man, here go another one. We see why you lost your job. First of all, I don't think people are rejoicing over people losing their jobs. I think people are just stating their opinion. A lot of people like myself who told you to take the buyout, we knew what was coming down. It's not that people are rejoicing. But as usual, people who look like her, act like her, normally are playing the victim role. But for her, she's trying to actually do something a little bit different. And before I get into that deeply, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that like button, get us in the algorithm. Keep liking, put your comments down below what you think about this. But if you notice, there's been a lot of videos that people being losing their jobs, a lot of federal employees losing their job, and I think this young lady right here trying to take a independent road. Um, with that being said, for somebody who's been in the federal, actually retired from the federal after 20 years of service, um, I'm gonna tell you that getting into the work market is not as easy as you might think it is. Um, for myself, I've been able to find a new career, things like that. Things have been going very well for myself. With that being said, one of the things that I learned very quickly that in the civilian sector is that your resume is only an opportunity for you not even to get an interview. It's like to get a phone interview or a video interview. These processes in the civilian sector are very intense, and they're not really looking for your requirements on your resume. Your resume is, again, something might stand out. They might see your education, something of that nature, and be like, you know what, let's get them a phone interview. And then that person on the phone has to be convinced that you then fit what we call culture or work culture or the work environment. People are looking for cultural fits when it comes to working at certain places. And I actually experienced this firsthand with the company that I'm working for now. It's actually a top Fortune 500 company, very well known company. Won't disclose that information where, but it's a very very well known company. And I'm gonna tell you how deep it was when I had the interview with the GM. The GM literally stated, "It's very unique that you're in front of me because you weren't either one referred here, two, you weren't already an employee here because they do all their promotions, all their filling slots usually internally." So he was stating that it's very important that you got here. That means that someone seen something in you that you'll be a good cultural fit. And then I interviewed with him. He even seen other things. The position I initially put in for, he wouldn't even allow me to take it because of how I interviewed and the qualifications. And then he ended up actually creating a slot for me, um, so that I could be part of this great company. With that being said, I don't think people understand that it's not going to be as easy as it looks. And I'm gonna tell you this too: federal lingo is totally different than civilian sector lingo. You might think you're in a supervisory position or this and that, totally different than civilian world. And I'm speaking from experience because I actually just lived it. I just retired in 1 July. So I got into the work system, the civilian sector, a few months later. But with that being said, I just want to encourage people to understand that just because you feel like you have a strong federal background doesn't mean it's going to prepare you for what the civilian sector is looking for. And also, with the cuts going on, you have to understand that these big corporations are seeing those who are getting cut. First of all, you're gonna have to explain why you were cut. And a lot of you guys think you were cut just because of money, or a lot of you probably gonna blame President Trump or Elon Musk, and that's not gonna be a valid excuse once you get into that interview stage. So you got to really think about what's going on there and see what you would need to do. But let's hear a little bit more of what she has to say, and then I'll continue to react to this video.
He's coming because, honey, when I tell you the way the federal government works is we are basically trained and taught and more or less forced to do more with less. Because of that, a lot of us are
And that's another misconception. That's literally what 90% of the world is doing. Even the civilian sector is doing more with less. It's not just the federal community that's doing more with less.
used to, our resumes are pretty extensive because we've had to operate in positions outside of our normal position. We have some of us are in like lead and manager role, fast track roles.
Leads and manager roles. So you were a supervisor, or you were probably the supervisor's like supervisor, if that makes sense. Like you're the supervisor's lead, meaning that that supervisor felt like that task wasn't something they need to do, and you're a higher tenure person or somebody who was pretty decent at their job, and they felt like they could pass that role down to you. Um, these roles, these terminologies she's using doesn't mean anything crazy. Again, the civilian sector is doing more with less. That's worldwide. That's in any job sector.
Like you're in the role or you're being trained for that role, but you're still at your original position. We can put that on our resume. Many of us, like I said, may have been operating in, one role is just a regular old contact rep or a regular old lead. But because the federal government is always understaffed, we've been doing work that like a manager would do or a general manager would do or a district manager would do. All of that, all of those accolades, all of those awards, all of the reviews that we passed with flying colors, we put all that on our resume. So while you're ha 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 and keying that federal employees have lost their jobs, just know when this is all said and done, you probably gonna wish for a good old DEI hire. Cause at least maybe y'all were on the same page. But you thinking you about to go toe to toe with a federal employee that may have had the title.
And this is why these people won't be a cultural fit. They're coming into a workplace thinking that they're the prize when you are the one trying to get hired. And you're already assuming that you're going to take someone else's position. That's not a cultural fit. A cultural fit is someone who's going to actually already see what the team has and how they can enhance that. And also, are they a good team player? Which obviously, a good team player, you can be. I'm not saying you can't be competitive, but you can tell that she's coming in with a lot of animosity. And people need to understand that these companies are going to look at your social media. So good luck with that. Make sure you get your hair done at the top, get it retwisted before you go into those interviews. Make sure you take care of yourself. Most importantly, make sure you guys hit that like button. It's free. Um, Also, even if you disagree, put your opinions in the comments. And as I always leave every video, make sure God loves you, which is most importantly. I love you. You're beautiful, and your boy's out. There you go.